Everyone, I'm Roy 93 back here with another deck profile. This time I'm with my buddy Kyle. He's going to be doing his Tellarknights, and let's get into this deck profile.
Yeah, so Tellarknights, Star Seraph Tellarknights. I'm not a fan of the Demise variant. So yeah, let's get right into it with the monsters. Photon Thrasher.
You mind flipping them the other way?
Sure. Yeah. Card is absolutely fantastic. I'd run it at more, because I'm not playing Demise, so it doesn't interfere with anything, and it lets me with turn 1 Yugioh. So it's an absolutely fantastic card. And then obviously for the Tellers, you just can't go without the 3 altars. I see it in every other deck profile, I'm trying to think, how can I run different ratio? You just can't. 3 altar, 3 Deneb, you need it. So we got those, and then for the smaller ones though, I felt they were less necessary, so we got one of each, the Vega and the Inuk. This one's really good for dumping and whatnot, and this one out's Vanities, and it's a big beater. They both come in handy, you can't really play without them, so one of each. I wouldn't run more. Maybe Vega too, but it's good for turn 1, that's about it. And then getting into the Star Seraphs, obviously 3 Scepter and 3 Sovereignty. Drawing a buttload of cards and then popping things for free with Scepter is actually just amazing. And because Deltaros can be made with these, it's just so great. I tried like Brilliant Tellarknights, Demise Tellarknights. This is my favorite build so far. And of course, because you can't play without in the format, Double Maxi. Fantastic cards. Draw all of your traps, all your monsters. Alright, so that's it for the monsters. A really small monster lineup, just the basics pretty much. And onto the traps. 2 Tellarnova Alpha. Most people run it at 3. I actually really don't like this card. I always find that people play around it. I had a guy Book of Eclipse my 1 monster just so I couldn't really use it effectively. People just know how to play around it, and if you're not going first, then it's a real big problem, so I'll often side them out. But when it works, it works. Like, drawing a card and negating something is really good, so... 1 to 2, I wouldn't play it at 3. Then we got the 3 Fiendish Chains, only 2 ultis. Obviously, you bounce them with Trivair, and it's really good. You can stop a lot of things this format, and next format, when Zark comes out, this card absolutely just wrecks Zark. So this card's really great. The one problem with it is that, and the reason you might want to run less, is because against metal foes, they're non-effect monsters, you can't Fiendish Chain them to stop them from attacking. But it doesn't come up very often, because you just hit the fusions that they make with them instead, so great card. And then, of course, 3 Call of the Haunted, loop your altars, pretty straightforward. 2 Oasis. The fact that it changes the type really isn't that relevant. Just great cards, looping all your stuff. And on to some of the more Floodgatey cards. We got Floodgate Trap Hole. This card's actually amazing, this format. It hits basically everything. If you hit an Xyz with it, the fact that the materials don't go to grave and they can't use them is great. And then if it's an Xyz monster or something, when you make Trivair, you bounce it back. So it's just as good as wiping their whole board. Amazing stall card. I might even bump it up to 3. No explanation needed. Vanity's Emptiness. And for Solemns, we got a Warning, obviously, super great card, and 1 Strike. I would play more of this if I had more of this. Solemns just absolutely great, this format. They hit everything. When we come up on like Eidolon format, you can maybe drop it a little lower because it's not going to hit the fusion spells. So we'll see how it turns out next format. Ring of Destruction. I haven't seen a lot of people playing this card. I actually love this card. With Tellers, you kind of struggle for damage sometimes. This card really helps you there. You can hit zeros if you're low, 0 attack monsters if you're low on life. And then, yeah, it's still 1-for-1. Like, anything that's a 1-for-1 you can proc on their turn, you can chain it when they MST. It's just a great card. And then for the spells, all of the spells are 1-ofs. I'll start with Instant Fusion. Card's pretty good. I wouldn't run it at more than 1. I see some people really wanting to draw into it. Because I have the Star Seraphs, it's really not something I want to see very early on. And I really want to establish a good board early on. So I think 1's a good number. I wouldn't run it at more. MST, obviously. You need your cards to discard for other things, so you can't really run Twin Twisters as effectively. Not to say Twin Twisters isn't a great card, but you don't want to run too many Twin Twisters.
I'm going out 2016 a winner. I finally beat William in a duel. There's only one person left, but I'll save you for 2017. Happy
This
New
is
Year.
all getting cut out of the video. You can leave.
Happy New Year, man.
What?
This is all getting cut out of the video. Get out of here.
No, it can stay in the video.
You ruined my deck profile.
Okay, say something. Okay, let's go.
It's all background. This is all funny for the video.
Kyle, William, David.
Your deck is bad and you should feel bad.
I don't see you topping.
Anyways, let's get back into this. This just turned really funny really fast, so.
So yeah, moving on, more backer removal. Genesis, this card can be really good or really bad. I actually would replace this with a Twin Twisters, just because it works in every scenario. I think like 1-1 Twin Twisters MST is a pretty good ratio. But you know, when it works, it works. I popped 4 of a guy's back row today. It is absolutely nuts.
Kyle, you want to do me a favor and hit the guy to the right of you?
Do you not know directions? I said leave it. Leave it.
It's his right, not my right.
Yeah, you said leave it.
Alright, so we got Soul Charge. Soul Charge, best card in the deck. I mean, the best thing you can do with this deck is drop that 5 material Ron. We'll see you later. Amazing card. This card is your comeback card. If you want to make a nuts turn 1, that's the card. Rhoda, you can search Thrasher, search your Altars, Denebs, or Vegas, which make good boards. Great card. Book of Moon, the number of times I've used this on Deltaros to use effect twice, it's just so good. Upstart, use
39 card deck, that's all you need to know.
Honestly, I haven't actually looked recently to see how many. We're near that 40 mark. Play it at 40. This card's great. Even if you're not playing 40, you side it out for other things. Really good card. Or you search first and then you draw. Amazing card. And then Regeki. Side it out against Magic Mechas.
Is there any changes you'd make to the main deck if you could?
I think I mentioned most of them. Some more strikes. Nova I'm not really a big fan of. I think I've got good ratios on the monsters. Maybe some more Thrashers for early game. Twin Twisters instead of Genesis. I think that's how I'd run it. It's been working pretty well so far.
Alright, so let's get into that extra
Right
deck.
into the extra deck. Alright, so got best card in the deck. 2 Deltaros. It pops things every turn. They can't chain without negation, and then it floats. And it doesn't, unlike Trivere, it doesn't have to have material to float, and it's generic, so you can use it with Star Seraphs. This card's absolutely fantastic. Triveres, I run 3. You probably run 2, but when you loop it, you want to loop it. It's a great card. Not much explanation needed there. Alright, so here we have the Dark Tellarknight Bat Lamias. This guy, I only run him at 1 because I'm often with the Star Stars making 3 material Xyz. But on occasion, if I need something to go into rank 4, this is almost always what I make. It's not generic, but it lets you go into whatever you need.
And before you guys say anything in the comments, yes, it is OCG, but he does have the TCG
I have the
version.
English ones. I play the English ones in tournaments usually, but we play these casually at locals. No one cares. They look nice. I like all my ultis. Diamond, this card just craps on BAs. BAs aren't really relevant, but there's a few guys who still play it, and it's just funny to watch them try and play around this card.
I summoned that against Dark Lords, and they couldn't do shit.
Yeah, this card has its uses. It's a bigger beater than Trivere, so if you want to rank up when it's out of material, it has its uses. It's a good card. Yeah. I wouldn't run it at more than 1. Another OCG ulti hitting the table. The Hero Champion dude. You make it with 5 materials or even 4, and you just win the game. You blow all their field, they can't summon for 2 turns, and then you swing twice for 3k. Absolutely amazing. Also, I'm pretty sure that with Altar's Effect, because unaffected by card effects, you can still swing despite Altar's Effect.
Yes, it can.
Yeah. Hasn't actually come into play very much, but because I'm always altering on their end phase and whatnot, but really good card. This is one of my spicy techs. I love this card. I don't see a lot of other people running it. Thunderspark Dragon. It's basically a 3 material, and you detach 3 into Regeki. This card, Perfect Game, to my salty friend earlier. I had this, and I had a Deneb for 3,900 on his 3,900 life. Just nuked his board swung. If you need a 3 material generic, card's just really good. Speaking of 3 material generics, Utopia Prime. I have yet to use his actual effect. I got really close one game. You get down there with life with Soul Charge sometimes. But it's a pretty great card. You can bait it, obviously running the Utopia and Lightning with it. If I make the Utopia, I don't always go Lightning just because I want to save it for this. Or sometimes I'll make the Lightning without the 3rd material if I don't think I need the 2nd one. Honestly, like, it's Lightning. You can't go wrong. You just can't. Tsukiyomi, I mentioned it earlier. This card fixes your hands. It's really good. Just free draw, free dumping, good booty. Great card. You can bounce with Trigger, use it again sometimes, although that doesn't come up very much. Diamond Dyer just for popping stuff. You run Castell instead. I like Diamond Dyer better for the back row. And then last but not least, Norden for the instant fusion.
Alright, is there any changes you would make to the extra deck if you could?
No, I absolutely love my extra deck right now. I think I've got it down. If you wanted to make changes, maybe you could cut a Trigger for something else, maybe Castell, but it's been working really well for me. I love it as is.
Alright, well, thank you, Kyle, for the deck profile. This was recorded on New Year's Eve. It turned funny fast halfway through the video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe.
Off you retell it.
Have a good one. And that was Ryan being an idiot.
Yeah.